Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2 of our little Magic 9 special, I guess. Not really a special, hopefully we'll have more. There's still a lot to do, believe it or not, even though I'm getting so high in my Magic 9 and I've done a lot of quests. I've looked into it, there's still a lot to do, there's still a lot of side quests to finish. As I was saying before, we have finished the Druid quest. I did turn that in, I didn't get that recorded, I do apologize. But basically after you do all the things that you saw in part 1, just go back to the Green Man, turn it all in, and get the promotion, get the quest done, get the experience, get all that good stuff. So we've moved on, and we're going through the ice cave here that's near the Green Man to head to the ice giant's little place, his cave, his tavern, whatever you want to call it, tavern. His fortress, if you will. And well, you're not going to see all that much here. I didn't quite get all the content as I would have liked. I went through it like almost, well, I guess 2 whole times. And the reason I went through 2 whole times, the first time I went through it, the ice giant was not dying like he's supposed to. There's a triggered event that you have to do in order to make the ice giant die properly. And, well, the quickness of the game getting out and some of the bugs that are still in the game showed its ugly head on my end, and I got stuck and I fought with it for, oh lord, way too long. And finally I found out that when that happens, a dungeon or whatever gets bugged like that, you need to leave the dungeon, save, go into your mini saves folder and delete all the mini saves in there related to that dungeon. And that's what I did. Came back in, went back and did exactly what I was supposed to do right away, because that's what they suggested. And lo and behold, he fell through and everything was cool. And I would have had video for that, but I forgot to record again because I was just trying to get it done. But in essence, for Ymnir, the frost giant, you're supposed to get him to you're supposed to set up a little trap for him, get him to go over it and fall down, plummet to his death. Really not that hard. Can be done pretty easily. But you want to try to get it done ASAP, as there seems to be some sort of bug related to it. So we're going through the ice caves, heading to his little like portal room. Or not really portal, but it's a portal entrance to the fort. And as I was saying before, I've really got my party members up and everything like this. I've graduated, if you will. Joe from thrown weapons to bow. He's got a nice bow skill now, so he's no longer using thrown weapons. And of course, if he was going to be assassin, he would have been using thrown weapons more than bow. But unfortunately, since I made that mistake and he didn't become assassin, he became paladin instead, he's using bow weapons. And of course, my ranger is using bow, and she is also master in bow, so she's shooting 2 arrows at a time, which is great with Everstrike. I can't wait till I get to Grandmaster. She'll be shooting 3 arrows at a time, and that'll do some serious damage as well. So, going through the ice caves, try to get it done. We come out, and lo and behold, there is the fort. There it is in all its glory. It's way out there. So the only way in and out is through the portal here. So you go through the portal, you end up in here, and I went ahead and saved. And I'm only going to show you the very entrance part here, as you're going to see here in just a moment. And the only reason I do that is I want to show you as much as I can. I want to show you at least Ymnir as well, and where he's supposed to trigger. So we get in there, we go through there, we go through these things. There's a lot of loot. There's a lot of great stuff in here. Actually, I was kind of glad I had to reset it, because the second time around I ran into a resurrection book, spell book, which definitely came in handy for my priest. She learned that, so I can finally resurrect members of parties who dies, which is wonderful, because the main reason when someone dies, the reason I go ahead and just reload it for my last save, is because I have to go all the way back to town first to res them, which isn't a big deal now with Town Portal and Lloyd's Beacon. I do have Lloyd's Beacon, and you will see that later on. It's not too much of a big deal now, but when they're dead and I'm fighting stuff, they're not getting any experience, and I like to try to party my level together as much as possible. And that's why I have their learning skills all around the same level that I can. And I try to keep them all conscious as much as possible. And if they die, it can be a real hassle to do that, because the only way to fix it before the resurrection spell is to just go back to town, go to the temple, and heal them. So now with the resurrection skill, I don't have to worry about that. And it came in handy in part 3, as you'll see. It really came in handy for some tight spots. So we're going through Ymnir's fort, so on and so forth. This was the first run throughs where some of this video is, and then we're going to switch to the end of the first run through where it was bugged. And basically there's this hallway. You can see me trying to pull Ymnir here. There he is in all his frost giant glory, and me running from this hallway right here is where he's supposed to fall. And there's some struts underneath there that you shoot out, basically. And they're little like doodad things, if you will. Throw some Blizzard terminology in there for no apparent reason. You shoot him out, and he's supposed to run through there, or you pull him through there, and he falls through and dies. And I was having a problem with that, so I had to reset the instance, if you will, or the dungeon. And God, just too much wild terminology on my mind. And lo and behold, I went through there, did that again, and got him to go through, and he did die. And you can see me turning in the quest there. So I finished all that up from the Ranger quest, so now it's time to dump my loot. I have a ton here because, like I said, I went through it twice. Don't think of using this too much as trying to get a hold of artifacts. You'll be sorely disappointed. It doesn't work like that. But needless to say, so I sold a lot of crap here, and I have a ton of money, as you'll see. So full. And so after I go ahead and do that, I run back to the training yard, and I train up. And we're level 32 right now, and you're going to see us, we're going to go up about 3 levels here, which is not a bad run, honestly. And most of this was from finishing the quest more than anything. But we do get up to level 35. We spend some skill points, we get some more skills up, and then we go ahead and move on. Now, I know it's supposed to be around level 40 is what I've heard suggested before you do the Lich Lab quest, and before you do your Lich promotion, but it was starting to really become a burden, him not being up to a Lich at this point, and I really needed him to be a Lich so he could get all his expertise and his other skills up, because he's pretty much been blocked without his promotion. So I went ahead and gave it a try here, and the first thing I had to do is I had to go through the connecting tunnels. This is in Thronheim. You go towards the lake area instead of going to the passage to Frostguard or whatever, and you have to fight some lower end vampires to get to the connecting tunnels. You'll see it's real easy. And then you're going to come in the connecting tunnels. I didn't explore the entire connecting tunnels as I usually do with most things, because I wanted to get there. I wanted to see if I could actually handle it and get to it. Now, the Lich Lab, if you do not know, is in Yorwick, which is in another region, if you will. And there is no town portal for Yorwick like there is in Linsfarn. So you'll also see me when I come out here of the connecting tunnels. I am going to set down a Lloyd's Beacon to that mark. And mainly the connecting tunnels are not hard at all. I mean, we're looking at Greggles here and skeleton warriors and maybe a skeleton. It might be a skeleton master or two. I didn't really hit any that I saw in the main tunnel path. And the main tunnel path is not hard to follow. You just follow the lights. So we get to Yorwick, over to my priest. We put down a Lloyd's Beacon here, as you can see, real easy, and so I can make sure I get back here anytime I want. No big deal. You're mainly looking, when you're going through Yorwick here, fighting apparitions, and also now we have, I believe, shades, as they're called. Basically, they're not too hard. If you've gone through Chasm of the Dead, and you've done the entire Chasm of the Dead, like I have at this point, you're not going to have a problem here. I'm just overlooking what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go, checking what it is. And you want the Lich Lab, which is in the far, far northwest corner of Yorwick, and so it's quite a path to get over to it, depending on which exit you come out of connecting tunnels, because there is another exit that does go here, and this is a town in Yorwick, and I actually set a new Lloyd's Beacon here as well, because you're going to see there's a lot of other trainers here, especially in the Grand Master area. Some of the missing Grand Master trainers that you've been probably wondering where the heck they are, they're here in Yorwick in this little town. There's also a cute little quest you can do here with this little girl and her sheep. It's real cute, real simple, real easy. You'll get a little experience and a little gold for it, so why not do it? So after that we head towards the Lich Lab, and there it is. A lot of vampires to fight on your way into here, including full-fledged vampires. A little bit of a challenge, but not too big of a deal as long as you're up. I actually was able to handle him really well. I was actually surprised how well I did handle myself, not only going into the Lich Lab, but most of the Lich Lab as well. And of course, you are going to see that here in part 3, the entirety, pretty much, of me going through the Lich Lab, how I got that done, and of course my promotion to Lich, my final promotion for my party member, all coming up in part 3. So don't you go anywhere. You definitely don't want to miss this. We'll see you in part 3. Later.